welcome to another episode of the BFG Podcast. Today I am here with Jonathon, and we are going to talk about some of the updates that have occurred in the Phoenix Club while we have been on hiatus.
hmm
Take it away, Jonathon.
Welcome back, everyone. As we say, we've been on hiatus. Some of us have been away on holiday, and others of us have just been laying low amongst our team. So nice to be back recording again, isn't it, Blake?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So the biggest piece of news that's happened in the last couple of weeks, and when we're talking about the Knicks, we are at the moment focusing on the women's team, is the resignation of Gemma Lewis, who has returned back to Wales for an exciting opportunity. So, after an exciting first season with a very strong outcomes for the Knicks, Gemma has been offered something else an opportunity that was too good to turn down. What's your view, Blake?
Yeah, I have quite a strong opinion about this. Um, so I'm very strong about players within any code sticking to contracts, so I hate backflips and I hate people leaving early. And I appreciate that that coaches and players get opportunities, but I kind of feel like if you know if an opportunity comes up and they've already signed a deal because it was previously announced she signed a 1 year extension.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if players or coaches have already signed an extension or a new contract, get an opportunity to go to another club, and they went to another club already, and then they get an opportunity to go to another one. It's like either hold it for me until that deal's up, if it's a year, or you know, it's the consequences you have to live with of signing that new deal. And I think it's a bad example for the players. It's not so much the older guys and the elder statesmen and the men's team, for example, but it sets a really bad precedent for the younger players. Like, uh, if we're looking at the men's, you know, team, it might be a Ben Wayne or something. And if we're looking at especially because in the women's team, we've got a lot of young women, and I don't want them to grow up in their career, especially because some of them are young teenagers from the ages of 16 to 21, bar a few older ones. You know, it sets a precedent like, if you can do that, then I can too. It doesn't, and it teaches them, in my opinion, again, that you don't have to, stick to anything. You can break it, and then it'd be up to their parents to say to them, no, no, that's not the way to go. So I think it sets like a bad example.
Yeah, but I mean, and so this is one of those ones where Blake and I we agree to disagree, because Blake's view is that if you've signed a contract, you stick with it, and my personal view is if you get an opportunity that's too good to turn down, that you take it. So this is one of those times where me and Blake, or Blake and I, will disagree. I totally get it from the point of view that it is setting maybe an example to the younger players and so on about backflipping and leaving and so on. But at the same time, if you've got an opportunity to go home, or to move on to higher and bigger and better things, you'd be pretty silly to turn it down. So there is definitely a tension there, and we obviously, Blake and I, we see this slightly differently. So the bigger issue though, after Gemma leaving, is the replacement for her, and the Knicks moved very quickly to appoint Natalie Lawrence as the coach. Any thoughts on that?
I would have liked them to go a bit wider afield, but I'm happy with her at the same time.
Yeah. I've had a few people mention that Natalie's coaching record leaves a bit to be desired. She hasn't had a great run of success prior to the Knicks. Maybe last season with working with Gemma, she picks up some new tricks and new tips, and things are going to improve. But the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So we'll have to wait. We've got 5-6 weeks before the season starts, and that's when we'll find out whether it's going to work or not.
So just confirming that you're not particularly happy with it, or you don't mind?
I don't mind. I think it's good because Natalie is, she is coaching the the Ferns. She's on the Ferns coaching team. So there'll be some continuity there with taking players through. I'm just not sure how that's going to affect the style of play, because we had that interview with Gemma and she talked about really wanting to play a high attack, with the defensive line up higher and lots of running and putting the ball forward. I don't know what Natalie's approach is going to be, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'm hopeful, but a little bit cautious at the same time.
No, just clarifying what I said about Gemma, by the way, to anyone watching. I'm not saying that players shouldn't take opportunities. What I'm saying is, if they want to take them, they should either ask if the deal can wait, or if they are somebody waiting to be signed, then they can take it if they are not already tied down. I'm referring to the people that have tied down and then said, actually, I changed my mind. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying to the people that are already unsigned or thinking about signing. I just want to make that clear.
I do suppose in this case, though, that just taking Gemma's side, the preseason hasn't started yet. She did sign the 1-year extension, but I mean, she has pulled the pin or decided to make that move kind of 3 or 4 weeks before preseason starts. So it's the Knicks are not being left completely high and dry. But as you say, Blake, if you've signed that 1 year, she signed an extension, we all thought that it was going to happen, but someone made an offer that was too good to refuse, and I suppose David and the club were fully supportive of it. And I mean, we wish her all the best, but it would have it's not perfect, but and I think that's partly also because we were so excited for having her as coach, because she's a fantastic coach, and of course that's why she's been picked up by someone else.
And I am trying to don't worry, I am trying to figure out a way to see if I can get that follow up with her. It'll just be a bit harder. But what this space we are going to try still to do that, aren't we, Jonathon? If we can figure out how.
Yeah, well, it would be nice to do a follow-up with Gemma, but now we also need to think about, can we have a chat with Natalie, find out what's going on in her brain, how she wants to play the game, what does she bring to the team? So we'll reach out to Brenton and everybody at the Knicks and put in a request, and hopefully we can make that happen.
But for those people who asked me this week, we are going to do our best to try if we can work out where she is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
that's
also
go
while we've been gone, we had a few players, so we'll just go through that now. We've got a bunch of them.
Yeah. So we'll just go through them from the top. So Saskia Vosper is the newest, not the newest, but the latest signing. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got six re-signings that have happened in the last basically 2.5, 3 weeks. 6 signings. 5 of those players are returning from the squad from last year, which is fantastic. And then we've got one new one who's coming in. So the 5 who are returning, Saskia Vosper, who's plays at the back. We've got Ava Pritchard, fantastic young talent, playing up the front. Last year, she scored 2 goals and got an assist, so she had a great season, started all the games that she was there for. Isabel Gomez, very exciting midfielder. She's actually playing in the NPLW final this afternoon, so we'll be heading off to watch that after this, to see how Isabel's tracking ahead of the first preseason. Grace Wisniewski is back. Grace had a tough year last year, but she's excited. She's passionate about her football again. Being able to play at home will be fantastic. And then these two players in particular that I'm particularly am very excited about. I don't know about Blake, but any thoughts on the players we've talked about so far, Blake?
Just before, yes, I'm happy to see all three of them back, is all I'll say. And hopefully Grace can have a better year than last year. I think there's a caveat with one of them because one of them tore the ACL, right?
Oh, okay.
The returning Fern, is it that list? I think it might be.
I think it might be. Well, we'll wait and see. That would be pretty.
We did sign one player, then it got backtracked because she tore her. It was that white Fern.
Right. Well, I missed that because when I was lying on the beaches in Hawaii, I wasn't keeping up with football news. So I'm pleased you've brought me up to speed on that one, Blake.
But you can say them anyway.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure one of them.
And then the last two players, and these are two players that I personally am very excited about. I'm excited about the whole team, but these two in particular I think are going to be great. So the first one is Marissa Vandermeer, who is 19, plays defender, and she's coming back from Melbourne. So Marissa's been playing in Melbourne. Marissa was part of the Football Ferns under-20 squad, and watching her play at the under-20s World Cup, she was a talent. She's a gun. I just have big raps on Marissa Vandermeer. And because she at the under-20 World Cup, she plays in the defensive line, but she plays kind of a higher line and is able to shut down the opposition passing lanes, and she's great. And then the other person who I personally am super excited about, because I thought last year she had a breakout season, so I'm very excited, and that's the return of Zoe McMeekin. Zoe played, I think it was right back last year. She on superstar. She run and run and run. She had a couple of bad games. She had some times when she was off, but she always dusted herself off, picked herself up, and threw herself back into the action again. Yeah.
And apologies for the camera, by the way. I just realised I forgot to turn it on before we started recording this video, and I'm in my bedroom, in my bed. It's a Sunday as we're taping this. So.
So just for those people who just so you understand, so Blake with his physical, with his disability means that he has to spend some time during the day lying down, because being in his wheelchair can be a bit uncomfortable. So he's actually lying in bed at the moment, but that's what he has to do. So and it's comfortable for him, but that's why we can kind of only see a little bit of his head and not his whole beautiful, handsome face.
Yeah. So
Blake's also had a haircut. That's why he's looking a bit flashier than normal too. I can see he's had a haircut.
If we're filming on a weekend, you might often see me like this, but I do try and remember to turn it off. So that's just a reminder for any new viewers that have joined. I know that we've had a couple, so welcome.
Yeah. So just so when we go through those signings, so we've got three additional defenders, 2 additional midfielders, and Ava comes back in forward. So we've got a very decent squad, very well-rounded squad. I do, and then with the two two Ferns.
It also depends on who the injured one was.
Yeah, well, I have to look that one up. I have to do some homework and get myself back up to speed on
because it's one of the new signings, but I can't remember what one.
Because we got Paige Satchel So Paige was
No,
coming
they
across, and
they
then there was
they called her Lee, but her name not Lee, it's something else.
okay. Well, that's right. We can look that one up.
Right.
But I think my only concern at the moment with the women's next squad is that we are still giving away a lot of height. A lot of our players, and this is what happened last year. A lot of our players are kind of mid height, but they're not tall. So I think our Achilles heel, or our vulnerability, is going to be in the corners and on the free kicks. Hopefully, we might have another one or two signings, and we can get some real tall timber in there. But I think if we don't, that's going to be our downfall, is not having the height there, to take those opportunities when the ball's going into the penalty, into the box for the headers and so on.
And very quickly before we sign off, we just give you a bit of idea on what's coming up in the next month or two. So we've got Kate Taylor coming on, and we also have don't leave me. Who was the other one? There was another one.
There's another one. So we've got 2 interviews coming up. That's what you're saying.
Sorry, I can't remember the name. We are so
That's
rusty.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for Lily. We asked for Lily Alfeld to come on, but Lily's quite busy getting her life, just doing life before the preseason starts. So we're just going to have to sit tight and wait for that one. But hopefully we can make it happen.
And David, I know you want these, so thank you, David. We really appreciate all the help.
Yeah, we've been having quite a few discussions with the Knicks management, David and Brenton, who's their media manager, and we appreciate their support, particularly for Blake. It's fantastic having that opportunity to chat with the club and especially with the players.
Yeah, and we appreciate you watching as well, because we know they watch as well. So we appreciate you watching.
So just another quick thing before, and just switching over to the men's team, Blake, a couple of little things. Finn Surman, who had an absolute breakout season last year for the Knicks men's team, he's been over playing at the Oceania Cup. He's been captaining the men's, this is at the under-19 team. And the football team, that the young men have absolutely been smashing the opposition. They had like an 8-0 win against the Solomon Islands, and they've beaten Fiji and all kinds of teams. And Finn's captain of that team, so expecting big things from him again this year for the men's Knicks team.
And then we got the 2 internationals this week, so they're going to be lots of fun. One in Auckland and one in, is it Sydney or Melbourne?
I'm not sure. Again, I'm a bit rusty. So the All Whites game is at 4
p.m.
Eden
on
Park.
Sunday in a park.
Eden Park on Sunday. What are you hoping for? I'm picking. So it's New Zealand versus Australia. I would say All Whites 3-1.
All Whites 1-0.
Oh, All Whites 1. Oh, come on. Oh, no, 3-1. Let's have a cracker of a game. We've got Chris Wood playing at home. We've got Clayton Lewis is at home. There's just so many. I mean, if anyone's going to go and watch the All Whites, this is the team to go and watch, because this is one of the best. Clayton Lewis, man, he is the man. Clayton Lewis is the man. He is doing absolutely fantastic. So if anyone's ever wants to watch an All Whites game, watch some quality football, it's got to be Eden Park on Sunday afternoon.
So you can catch those 9:50 on Thursday and 4 p.m. on Sunday, both on Sky Sports 7.
Absolutely brilliant. So we can do a recap after those games and give our professional commentary and opinions. What do you reckon, Blake?
Yeah, so if you guys would like to see that, leave a comment on Facebook or down below in the video here.
Yeah, what we could do too is see if there's anyone else in the group who wants to jump in. Because there are some very intelligent football fans out there who may be able to add to the conversation. So we'll reach out and we'll see what happens. But I'm very excited for the 2 internationals this week.
Okay, so we'll leave it there. And so thanks everyone for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely. Over and out.